Okay, I really appreciate the opportunity to speak again. What I wanted to focus on right now is basically, as the pastor said, health is wealth. I mean, you can have all the money in the world, but if your health is not good, then you have nothing. So the thing that we talk about so much is prevention. And I think that I know that prevention is the number one thing that can help us. Like I just spoke with one of your members in the fellowship hall, and I noticed she had a scar, and I asked her. I said, "What was that scar from?" She told me that she had triple bypass surgery, and she also had a double mastectomy. So she suffered heart disease and breast cancer. But the God blessing is the fact that both were diagnosed early enough so that some type of intervention could be provided and her life is saved. And at 80 years old, she's still volunteering in a nursing home. And she's headed there now and she's still doing God's work. I wish she was still here right now. But the bottom line is, I want to tell you all about a program by a company called All Health, and it's called My Charlie. And basically, it's another form of technology that God has blessed Mississippi with. Mississippi Medicaid beneficiaries qualify for the My Charlie app. And I gave everybody one of these flyers. If you do not have Medicaid, please pass it on to someone in your family who might have Medicaid. And basically, when they call this number on this card, they'll be set up for an appointment where they can visit with a representative and they'll give them all the functions of My Charlie, such as My Charlie helps you keep up with your taking your medicine every day. For instance, I had a conversation with a patient that the app has interaction just back and forth with the patient virtually, where they get a notebook and they can see someone, they can talk to them every day, and they ask them, did you take your medicine? We noticed you had a mammogram 1 year ago. It's time to get another. Even though the mammogram a year ago was normal, the one now, it could have something. And as I talked about in church, if you have someone cooking on the stove and a dish towel catches fire and you recognize it early, you could throw the dish towel in the sink and put water on it and the fire is gone. But if you allow the fire to just burn, not only will the kitchen burn down, but your whole house can burn down. And you can get another house, but you can't get another body. And see, this is nothing but God just working through technology and people in 2026 still working miracles. Because with this app, you could check your blood pressure by simply looking into the app. And there have been scenarios where people have checked their blood pressure and it was extremely high, and they got a call from the nurse on call. And basically, the nurse inquired about the blood pressure medicine. Well, one particular patient hadn't been to the doctor in over 8 months. They missed their last appointment, but during the last appointment 8 months ago, it was noted that the blood pressure medicine was slightly increased because the blood pressure was uncontrolled. The plan was for the patient to come back 1 to 2 weeks later and have his blood pressure reassessed. And what we were going to do is, at our clinic, we were going to assess the blood pressure, and if it was still high, we would increase the dose of the medicine. But with the app, the patient was alerted that they missed their appointment and they need to come in. So they came in and we increased the medicine to the dose it needed to be, and we followed up with the app, and the patient is safe. That same patient could have had a heart attack, a stroke, or heart failure needing some type of surgical intervention, or they could have lost their life. So if you don't have Medicaid and you know someone that is a Medicaid beneficiary in the state of Mississippi, please pass this on, because it could be the difference between life and death. And I really thank you all for allowing me to come today. In the end, I just want to share my story very quickly. I started having some numbness in my hand, And I went to my doctor because whenever something's going on with me, I want to know what's going on. So the doctor told me that I need to go get further testing. And I followed up. I went and got a further testing, and it showed that something was definitely wrong. So the doctor then told me I need to go get a CT image of my brain, and they found a small tumor. And my wife had to make a decision because there was a lot of swelling and it was pushing on my nerves that were affecting my motor skills of my hand and my leg. And they kind of sedated me with high dose steroids to get rid of the swelling before they made a decision if they were going to do the surgery. And my wife instructed them to go ahead and do the surgery. They got the tumor out, and praise God, we're 2 years out, and I got an MRI and it was negative. So all I have to do now is go every 6 months to a year and get it. And after 5 years, they said they're probably not going to do it, but every 1 to 2 years. But I go once a month and I get an infusion. And basically what they do is they infuse me with antibodies. And those antibodies go to that area of the brain and make it so if the tumor tries to come back, there's no blood supply, no oxygen. I know that's God. Because there's no way man could come up with some type of liquid that would have antibodies that are so sophisticated that they know to go to that area. God is still with us. We just have to understand that going to the doctor is not turning your back on God, but understanding that God is still working through doctors and technology to do miracles in 2026. So I'm going to have a seat, and I hope everybody enjoys the breakfast, but God is going to bless me to share this information at the 10:30 service. And I hope my voice comes back. But thank you so much, and y'all just have a blessed day, and I really appreciate this opportunity.